If you're watching this, chances are you're already thinking a little deeper about how real estate works and maybe questioning why selling a home still feels harder than it should. I've spent the last 20 years as a real estate investor. I've analyzed thousands of deals, watched markets rise and cool, and seen firsthand how homes actually change hands. And the longer I stayed in the business, the clearer one thing became. The problem isn't the homeowner, it's the system. Today, most sellers are pushed into one of two paths. The first is the traditional listing. On paper, it sounds great. Maximum exposure and top dollar. But in reality, many homes sit on the market for months, often 90 days or more. Price reductions are common. About 30% of transactions fall out of contract. And sellers carry the stress, the showings, the preparation costs, and the uncertainty the entire time. And here's the part that rarely gets talked about. In many cases, once a home is listed on the MLS, the process becomes passive. The home is available, but it's not actively marketed with urgency. Agents are managing dozens of listings at once. Buyers browse at their own pace. There's no clear deadline, no real pressure to act, and no reason for buyers to compete. The system waits, and sellers pay for that waiting. When people talk about top dollar, they also rarely talk about what comes off the top. Nationally, total costs to sell often run 8 to 10% of the sale price on top of the commissions. That includes repairs, staging, carrying costs like mortgage, taxes, HOA dues, insurance, closing expenses, and seller concessions. The number that matters isn't the list price, it's what you actually walk away with. The second option sellers are given is a cash offer. Cash offers are usually fast and simple, and for some sellers that makes sense. But as an investor, I know how these offers are priced. They're typically heavily discounted, often 20 to 30% below market, to allow the cash buyer to immediately resell the property for a 10 to 20% profit. So sellers are left choosing between speed or value, certainty or upside, and that trade-off never sat right with me. What I've learned as an investor is that pricing improves through competition, not hope. But competition doesn't happen by accident. It has to be created. That's what's missing. So we asked a simple question. What if, instead of listing and waiting, we actively marketed a home aggressively within a defined, compressed window? What if agents and our team went to work immediately, targeting qualified buyers, investors, and agents, pushing visibility, driving urgency, and forcing decisions? That insight led to 14 days. With 14 days, we don't just put a home on the market, we actively market it. From day one, we identify and contact qualified local buyers, investors, landlords, and agents with active demand. We put the property in front of people who can actually perform. We set a clear 14-day window, and that deadline creates urgency. That urgency creates competition. Instead of waiting for buyers to find the home, we bring buyers to it at the same time, so offers are compared, not chased. No endless showings, no drawn-out negotiations, just a focused process that produces real options and a clear decision. 14 days, clear timelines, real options. Speed isn't the point. Certainty plus value is. Knowing when your home will sell and the peace of mind of knowing you received a fair price. Understanding your true options and making a confident decision without dragging it out for months. Our vision for 14 days goes beyond faster transactions. We believe real estate needs a smarter, more balanced approach, one that respects homeowners and brings transparency back into the process. This isn't about replacing traditional listings or cash buyers. It's about adding a better option, one that actively works for the seller instead of waiting on the market to decide. I started 14 days because I saw a gap that deserves a better answer. And we're just getting started. If you're here learning more, that's exactly how this process should feel. Thanks for taking the time to understand why we built 14 Days and where we're headed next. 14days.com, real buyers, real offers, real fast.